box UV. This tool is quite impressive for non-hero objects that are going to be in the distance. Essentially, it creates custom UVs working with a triplanar system so that we get projection from all sides. You'll see here on some of the round objects that there is a bit of a blend. Of course, if your seams are, if you're using a tileable material, you might see some seams, and that's why this tool is best used for in the distance. You can use it for hero objects, but you might have a better option doing it manually. For hero objects, you'd want to lay out the UVs, make all the individual islands put into their own separate UV island space. Here you can see it's actually done quite a good job of packing everything and using the UV space. And if this is a hero item, a hero object that perhaps doesn't need a full UV sheet like this, UV islands that are identical, in this case it will probably do a good job of stacking all the spheres and give us a little bit more space for these larger items. So you can see all the spheres have actually been stacked. Unfortunately, this would give you, here you can see 15, 15, 15, 15 on all of these spheres. It's going to give you the same texture across the board. The great thing about this tool is that it can also be used inside Unity. So here we'll go back to our HDAs that we were bringing in, and we'll bring in box UV HDA. Make sure you bring in the HDA and not a .hip, where you might find that somewhere. You want an HDA. These are the Houdini digital assets. So we'll bring that in, drop it into our scene. You have to do that to initialize it essentially. And here you see we have this geo to UV. Which geo would you like to UV? Now there isn't really any way to add it here, so what you want to do is you want to click add slot. What this will do is allow you a space for a game object. So now we can actually just drag in these old ones, this old system that we're using here, and we want to see the UVs, but we're not seeing it right now. Okay, tell you what we'll do is we'll delete this. We'll bring in the box UV again. We will create a 3D object just so that you can actually see what's happening here. We're going to add that slot again, and we're going to drag and drop in that cube. We should see some UVs. Okay, what's happening here is we actually need to drop in a texture. We need to actually see what we're doing here. So let me just quickly get texture quickly. Maybe this one. That looks a bit intense, but it should be fine for what we're doing. Just make always remember, keep your projects clean. Just import that quickly and assign it to the box. It will need a material. Sure, we'll make it blue. Oh shoot, delete that one. Okay, make it blue. You can go in here, assign that moss. Okay, so here we can see, gosh, this is the default cube. We drop in our box tool. We add a slot over here so that we can actually drag in the cube, and then we will see that now as we adjust this, the tiling changes on the box, and essentially this has created us some really nice UVs. We do get a bit of duplication here as there's an underlying object. Essentially what you would do is you'd cook this out, or once you're done you just steal the box. You can add it as a prefab.